Okay, can you see me? Can you hear me? That is, I'll never understand YouTube some days. So what it was doing is it wouldn't let the camera turn on the laptop, but it kept on displaying that it was waiting for me. I'm sitting here talking with you, and I'm like, why is it telling me that I have to wait? That it's trying to find me. I'm right here. I know where I am. All right. Welcome, everyone. Sorry about the technical issue there. I'm getting it worked out. I'm in my new studio and I just put up my new backdrops, and I hope this is not too bright. I've got the new studio lights up in here, so I'm gonna try my luck this week on chroma key. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if you're familiar with it, if anybody's ever tried it. So if I miss any questions previously while I was dealing with this, if you could ask them again, I'd appreciate it. Zelda, Zelda. I'm looking into, and I have I have the a tab open that is searching for the answer to your question about the Lavelle and their Thrive products. So, Bella Michelle, Jersey girl. Yeah, I'm trying to make steps forward to make my life and making these videos easier on myself. It's not so much that that I'm going all high tech or anything like that. I'm just trying to make it easier on myself. Because the way I had it before, I had 6 lamps in the room to so I didn't look like like I was in the dark. But now I've got actual studio lights in here. Got a great deal on them. Marianne Gibson, hello from the Jersey Shore. Great channel. Thank you very much, Marianne. Diane, I am the wizard behind the curtain and in front of it, I guess. So, love the Wizard of Oz reference there. So, oh, Robert, don't worry about it. I'm not going to change too much. I have no intention of making this into a highly polished like channel. I happen to like the way that it looks. It may not be the best. It may not be something that you could broadcast to a million people, but I happen to like it, the format that I do. Sweet Dixie is eating a pickle. Is it a spicy pickle? Robert Feldman, Denver. RT Notes. I'll look into that. The American flag. So this is what chroma key is. So what chroma key is you black out the entire background. All right, with a computer, and then you can put in anything you want in the background. You can play another video in the background, so you'll see me, and then you'll see I can put American flag in the background. I can do all kinds of different things. L'Oreal, thank you for the super chat, sweetheart. Really appreciate it. Bella Michelle, Jersey girl, join me as a Patreon. Are you a Patreon of my channel, or do you have a Patreon channel? If you do, I'll definitely check it out. I'd love to check out your channel too, if you have one. Oh, mine. I'm sorry. Sorry, sweetheart. You know, I don't pay attention to the actual names of the people all that often. I have been working my butt off behind the scenes trying to figure out Patreon, and I'm just now, as you've seen, I'm just now finally figured out how to give my Patreon supporters sneak previews to videos, 2 days early before they go up on YouTube. And along with that, I figured out how to offer perks that are only in discounts in the fan store that are just for my Patreon supporters. Along with, anytime you message me through the Patreon channel, I get that as a text directly to my cell phone 24 hours a day. Okay, I will not be answering them 24 hours a day, but I get the messages 24 hours a day because that's the way I have it set up. So I can answer directly the questions that are answered, asked of me through that channel. Jill McFarland, 401, should get a huge donation that the YouTube con jobs get. What a shame. Yeah. Yeah, in a lot of respects, I've stopped caring what I do, financially from the entire channel. I mean, when it comes to ad revenue, I'm never going to be able to live off of that. You can't. Wait, that's a whole other can of worms I really don't want to get into. But let's just to say that when it comes to the content that I'm putting out on this channel, very few advertisers want to place their ads on my channel, and if they do put their ads on the channel, you'll notice they're not like the top tier like Pepsi or Walmart or something like that. These you'll see like commercials that'll run and ads that'll run for either completely left-wing agendas or right-wing agendas. I have no control over it, but they're paying very little to run the actual ads. How can you, J-Dub, how can you donate? Well, I mean, you can do a super chat here. It's the down below where you wrote your actual comment. There's a $sign there. You can actually do a super chat. Helen Johns, the way I have Patreon set up, I have it set up for as little as $1 per video, and that is the lowest I can actually set it up on Patreon. So you can be a Patreon supporter for $1 per video, and you can cancel it at any time. But basically, so if I put out 10 videos, it'll cost you $10 a month to be a Patreon supporter. I would put the link in, for the Patreon, but I don't know it offhand. But really, I'm no joke, I don't. I'm terrible at asking people for donations, and self-promoting. It's the one thing that I can't do. I can sit behind a computer all day long and research, talk to people on the phone, send emails. I can do all the stuff that gets the information that makes this channel great. Thank you, J-Dub. Really appreciate it. But when it comes to actually going out there and selling myself, I'm terrible at it. And this YouTube channel, I mean, growth has been far and above what I've actually expected at this point. But I've never told my family. I never told my friends that I have this YouTube channel. I never went out there and bugged people to subscribe. And I've never asked people to, hey, come on, join the party over here on YouTube. I've let it be a total organic, experience. Let the subscribers come to me. They find the content, they like it, they stay. The DJ, have a note card. Welcome today. All right, I'm gonna have to move this back a little bit here. Okay, I'm back. Ooh. Sorry about that. Bumped the computer when I got up. You had made a suggestion to do a video on Savannah Pruitt, Pruitt. I have that video coming up this week just wanted to let you know while I have your attention here for a moment. Hope you're having a great day today. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your husband lost his job and got a new one, but congratulations on that as well. There's currently there's a 20% discount for anyone to get things from the fan store. And of course, I don't have that near me right now. I'm in the studio, and of course, I don't have the computer. I'll put in the comment section of the video afterwards. Let's see. I missed your question. Hold on a second. I gotta go back. I gotta scroll back up. I was reading it. Well, that one. Somebody. Okay. K-Bell, the autopsy photographs. Do I have them? What is your question about them? Were they released? I'll tell you this much: they weren't released to the general public, and they were never officially released. They were leaked. They were in a email that was going between a coroner and a pathologist, and somehow that email got intercepted or leaked, and the photographs got distributed out that way. You can find them online for those who really morbidly need to see them. They're not I guess they could be of forensic value, or if he was to ever be prosecuted for anything, but they're not pretty. That's why I've never put them. I never put them in the any of the stories. I did see them. I did print them out, but they've never been widely distributed. How do you get merch, Helen John? The link in the go to any video that I have in the description. The very first thing, if you scroll down, you'll see the tag. It says and a live link to the fan store. Kathy Sullivan, welcome. Where Crystal? Where is Christopher Watson prison at? He is currently imprisoned in Wisconsin. Dodge Correction Center. Sorry. How do people find stuff like that online? Meaning the autopsy pics, did they just make you sick? Yeah. Oh, I'm not afraid to say that it made me sick, and I bawled my freaking eyes out. But looking at the photographs of the little girls, and it's not something I wish to have a memory of or see again. Yeah, there are quite a few of the I'm really surprised at the other. Well, I won't mention her name, but she's already in enough trouble the way it is. Don't feel shy about asking for support. People pay a lot for stupid movies, and happy to support you via PayPal. Zelda, yeah. I've been asked. Thank you very much again for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Uh, okay, I get my mind here correct so I don't speak here. When it comes to PayPal, PayPal is against YouTube's rules and policies. It's considered panhandling. So if you ever see anybody with a PayPal link on their page, asking for donations or whatever, or help or support, it's considered panhandling by YouTube's policies. I originally had it on my in the descriptions of the videos, along with a GoFundMe, but they said you can't have the GoFundMe on there and you can't have the PayPal because it's considered panhandling. Where Patreon and Super Chat is based on it's the goodness obviously of the heart, the hearts of the people who are donating, but it's tied to actual the a product. You're getting something for the donation, I guess. Savannah Procase was wondering if you wanted to be part of, because I will be tried in my town. They allowed the video, I could go to the trial and share it. Interesting. I'll think about it, DJ. I definitely will think about it. Sorry. Joey, there's no reason to be sorry, but I accept your, apology anyways. Weber family, welcome. Yeah, they do. We love you. And but I think somebody actually flagged me in the videos that I had it in. I had it on the, maybe it was the fact that I had it on the screen and as a crawler, the actual PayPal me link. But either way, I'm not going to tempt fate anymore with them. I can. Brittany, I can definitely confirm there are pictures. There are pictures of all of it. There's pictures of the girls in the tank before they pulled them out. There's pictures of them sitting, laying on the ground next to the tank. There's pictures of them on the autopsy table before they washed them off. There are pictures of them, naked after they cleaned them and did the examinations. Yeah, there are pictures. You may be able to request them through the third district through courts through Weld County. I don't know what they would actually. You have to come up with a reason why they want to release them to you, but they may. It's going to cost you some money. No, DJ, I understand your position, and I'm reading it, but I'll consider it. Yeah, YouTube. Of course, YouTube wants their money. We love you. Are you monetized yet? Because once you get monetized, it's a whole nother ball game. Once you finally start getting actual money, well, have the ability to. So you have the ability. Have you seen what the crazy things that they'll do with AdSense for you yet? So let's just, once you get monetized, it may be 30 days before they actually will put the money in your AdSense account. And then you might, depending upon how the method of payment, you might have to wait another week after that before you actually get the money in your bank account. You don't do live chats. Oh, Bella Michelle, Jersey girl, thank you for the super chat. Any new cases that I'm working on? I've got a couple that I'm doing research on, but I also have 8 other videos that'll become, well, I'm going to release a couple of them that they're already finished. But we have tomorrow we have the Murder and Coffee, which is a whole other thing. I got a nice little email from YouTube that the word murder is not considered advertiser friendly, and they would like me to change that from Murder and Coffee to something else. So, but you don't do live chats, huh? I enjoy this. I enjoy live chats. Never be monetized. There's a definite double standard when it comes to on YouTube. You can sit in front of a TV and live stream and play video games for 24 hours, and they hand over fist, they will monetize that in a heartbeat, and you can, rack up, a couple $100 in just, donations from people doing super chats while you're playing. But if you have a news channel or anything that's even remotely controversial, they don't want to monetize it because it may not fit with the advertiser's overall goal or the way that they want their message being put out there. Welcome from British Columbia, Canada. Welcome. From the Bronx, Julia. Yeah. Adriana, 411, thank you for the super chat, sweetheart. That question went by. I'm sorry, I was reading. I got this thing on the lowest setting too. Sometimes it like stops and freezes and then whoa, just flies by. Oh, Zelda, I'm sorry to hear about that. PTSD is not something that I'd want anybody to ever have to deal with. I have a friend who suffers from severe PTSD, but his is combat related. But it's not pretty. Hi, lovely lipstick. Allison from Australia, welcome. Nashville, Tennessee. Helen Johns. Sandy from Aurora, Colorado. I've been to your city. Very nice city. I got family down in the Greeley and Fort Collins and a couple of the other surrounding areas. Very nice. Well, it's kind of like where I am here. Well, over the med. What is that? Well, I was trying to read that. There we go. Call it crime and coffee. Yeah, I'm kicking it around. I just hate the fact that they want me to change the name because I've already got it on T-shirts and everything else. What am I supposed to do with the T-shirts that say "Murder and Coffee" that I personally have printed that are sitting in a cardboard box in my living room? They're Patreon giveaways. Oops. Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. I was planning on doing it. Wayne's World party time. Party on. You've been to Amsterdam? My be my wife's stepfather, so stepfather-in-law, I think that's what you call it. He goes to Amsterdam every year for the pot festival. He's a judge, an international judge there. Zelda cold case, leather oil gas station in Troutdale, Oregon. Murder victim's daughter. We'll let you interview her and her family. Must get this back in the public eyes. Okay. Maybe fade them out. Yeah. Crime and coffee. Sarah Elizabeth. Welcome. I didn't welcome you before. It's a good idea. I'll take suggestions eventually. Pot festival. Yeah. Venus. He's retired. And after he retired, he decided he wanted to do two things with the rest of his life: smoke a lot of weed and travel the world. And every year he goes there for the International Hemp Pot Festival or whatever it is. He likes it. To each their own. I'm neither for marijuana or against it. Armchair Detective is live, but I'm faithful to 411 now. Thank you, faithful one. And I have nothing against the Armchair Detective. Everyone, he has his place, and I really do not think he knows that the video that he was analyzing is altered. I really don't think so, because that would take a lot of gall to do an evaluation on a video that you think is correct and unedited, and then find out later on. And I'm sure he's aware of it because I've messaged him. He never responded back, but I messaged him and told him that the video was altered. But to each their own. I mean, if you're a fan of his, great. I have nothing against the man. I have a lot of things that against some other people, but I don't go into that, and nor do I badmouth other YouTube creators. They can do their thing. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing, because as long as I focus on what's going on right here, I think you guys would enjoy that more than me slinging mud. Yeah. Patricia K, have I been followed any of the Las Vegas shooting? To some extent, I did, but it kind of took off in a direction that I didn't really want to follow, and I had other cases that I was currently busy on. Michael Jones, is it true Shanann, Bella, and Celeste had open casket wakes? Well, it all depends. There was actually two actual uh, funerals portions. There was the Roman Catholic uh, procession and funeral, and then there was one that was open to the public. So was one of them an open casket? Yes. The Roman Catholic one was a open casket service for family and friends only. They did not let in the general public or anyone else who was there wanted to see it, but they did definitely have an open casket for them in the Roman Catholic portion of the before the burial, and then they did the public one. I hope that answers your question. Alan Johns, yeah, I try. I try to keep as positive as as I can. Brittany, did I find them online? I was actually one of of my subscribers here, who is a family friend of the Wattses. Not Wattses, sorry, Ruszczyk family, and confirmed that they are definitely a member of the family. Not a member of the family, but a friend of the family. Had sent me a message on, I think it was Facebook, through the Facebook group, and said, "Hey, is there any way we can get these things taken offline?" And I looked into it, and no, because it wasn't actually released through legal channels. It's sad. You're absolutely right, Kathy, Emma. Absolutely true. Yeah, there was. They made a lot of mistakes when it came to the discoveries. The- Patricia K. I was born in Ohio and lived there for years. Ohio. I've been through Ohio quite a few times. Yes, Lori M., do I think she's going to spill the beans on him? Yes, I really do, because I don't think she wants to take the fall for him. She just kind of strikes me as that person, and from everything that I've read about her. Susan, I don't know. Just like the same people who have it on their websites that are trading pieces of the front yard, the rocks that were around the tree and flowers and everything else that anybody could pick up and steal from the front yard has been stolen from the front of the Watts home. I'm not joking. According to the Frederick Police Department, the last announcement I saw was, I think, the 10th or something like that of last month. They're still having problems with what they call morbid tourists who are stopping at the Watts home and having their picture taken in the driveway in front of the garage where her friend stood or by the front door. People are going there, 10 to 15 cars a day on some days are going there and having their pictures taken in front of the home because there's some morbid people out there. Hi from Belfast. Gillian, welcome. My family hails from mostly from around Belfast, but in Northern Ireland. Greer or Greer? I think that's how you pronounce it. Belfast and Greer. Oh yeah, it happens a lot. There is an entire museum in Texas, I believe, that is just murder memorabilia. They have everything from the limousine that John F. Kennedy was shot in to, I mean, some of the original letters from the Son of Sam and the Zodiac Killer. There's people out that are really into that stuff. I don't understand it. But Kathy Emma, you're an Irish girl. Doreen, welcome. Doreen McLean. Is it McLean or Macklin? I'm sorry, I'm terrible with last names. I'm lucky I can pronounce my own last name correctly. But to answer your question, I forgot who asked it. I'll have to scroll back up. But my family hails from Northern Ireland. We were Finnies when we first came to America, and then we came through Ellis Island, one brother ended up with Finney, Finney, and the other one ended up with Finley. Brothers. It just happened how errors happen. They didn't care. Yeah. Oh, Michael Jones. Yes, they've actually had. I don't have the. We're gonna put that. Hold on, one second. Ah. Okay. Wrote it on the back of my wife's math homework. She already turned it in and got graded, but where is it? They've had 6 attempted break-ins of the home as of the 10th of last month. I was absolutely right. It was the 10th of last month. 6 times somebody has actually broken into the home or attempted to break into the home. Becky, welcome. I'm glad you could join us, and welcome to being a subscriber to the channel too. Oh, Veronica, I bet it hurts the neighbors' home property values. I don't think that this would be helpful. I mean, would you want to live next door to someone who 10 to 15 cars a day stopping and people getting out and photographing the house next door? Yeah, but it'll eventually die down and people will stop going. Cork, Ireland. County Cork, Ireland. I'm not familiar with too much of Ireland. I've never traveled there. My family has, but when it's vacation time every year, they go off to either Scotland or Ireland or the UK or someplace like that. They like to travel the world. Um, they own property in Belize, but I don't go. I stay here in America, and that's by choice. Hazel from Spain, welcome. I'm sorry. Now it went by again. I was going to give you a shout out. Where to go? Med Gas Guy. I never got a welcome. I am sorry, sir. Well, I'm assuming on the sir part is the name, but welcome. That Michael Jones is true. The house will not be auctioned off until April, and the auction that is a closed auction. It's not open to the general public. It's only open to brokers, real estate agents, and investment capital groups. Will not be sold off to the actual general public. Lovely lipstick. You're Irish as well. Every time I look at your profile, I do this. Chicago. I'm a Hoosier. You know what I just got the other day? It's not. That has nothing to do with the Hoosier. 1 second. All right. Now, I'm from Wisconsin. Okay, and this means the world to me. I'll hold it up here and kind of pull it up a little bit. See, anybody know what that is? I'm sure we got a couple of you from Wisconsin, Minnesota area in here. Anonymous. Yep. Minnesota North Stars. It's the last time I went to a hockey game. Well, professionally. I stopped. I was a huge hockey fan growing up until the North Stars moved off, and now they're the Dallas Stars. Then I would call it a prized possession, Jills, but they don't make them anymore. And this is an original one, and I love it. K-Bell, Oregon. Are you from Oregon? Or are you in Oregon? Hey, critter. Angela Rose, you're from Texas. Yeah. Nope. I did not watch the Super Bowl. I had no desire to watch it. You're a Dallas Shadow Warrior. You're a Dallas Stars fan. Well, everybody's got to root for somebody, right? I just can't. I never understood it. Growing up, the in the lower 48 states, more professional hockey players come out of the state of Wisconsin and Minnesota than anywhere else in the U.S. back then. I don't know if it's the same now, but we produced more professional hockey players in those two parts of the United States, and we had no hockey team. None. Well, they do now, but but it was we used to call them the no stars back then because every time we got anybody decent, the ownership just trade them off, and then they wondered why nobody wanted to watch them anymore. I hope the Maple Leafs win. Seeing from wow, none. I'm not going to even try that one. Canada. Amanda Marshall. I used to watch in the Whalers. Love the Whalers back then. Now we're talking the '80s, so. Do you think Christopher Case has gotten so much attention because of the corpus amount of media and social media exposure in Toronto, Canada? Blue Autumn. Yeah, to an extent, I do believe that the serious social media and attention in the media, but it's also it speaks about the okay. When it comes to a murder case, nobody wants to believe that something like this can happen. The shock and awe of the actual events, the age of the victims, the seemingly perfect life from the outside looking in perspective on it. It definitely it drew in a lot of attention. Class of '93. I must have missed something. Class. My husband's '85. Kathy, what are we talking about there? Thanks to the super chat, Critter. That we love you. You should do that. I've done one. You can on my channel, but it is a very interesting case, and I'll give you my perspective on the Fisher case right now. I believe he is still alive. I really do. I think he's out there. Robert Fisher, Patricia. I would really like to see your perspective on it. We love you. No, but if look Robert Fisher up if you guys are interested in it, and if she does that video, go to her channel and watch that because he had some very interesting friends. He dated some very interesting people. Joe Tacoma, 71 and proud, and made it this long. You're 71 years old, sir. Wow, congratulations! And here's looking for you for the next 71 more. Zelda, please give a shout to my friends over edges of Boring, Oregon. Boring, thank you for the super chat, Zelda. My wife's father, they have property in Eugene and in Salem. Richard K. One, oh, the one who killed the doctor. No, you don't. You don't want to do another 71, sir. All right. How about 30? 30 more. The life term. Well, either way, I hope someday to make it to 71. You've done something right to make it this far. Watts moved to North Carolina. I don't understand that question. Or that's actually not even a question, it's a statement. Marina, no open caskets, not during the public ceremony. What do I think about Two Genes in the Shadow video? I think it's crap. Sorry for my language, but I do. No, I don't think anybody was there. I think a lot of people are, they're hoping and they're praying that there's something there. that's not there. Watts have not, Marina, Watts have not died. You're losing me there. I'm trying to follow you, but I'm not understanding what you're actually trying to get at. You're trying to say that nothing in the Watts case is true and that they're not dead and they moved back to North Carolina? I don't know. Claire White, thank you for the super chat. Pulaski, Wisconsin. Glad you could make it today. Sue Reeves. He sent it to Colorado. Colorado detectives plus phone Nancy Grace. Okay? Like Elvis. I actually met a man once who looked just like Elvis, who was working at a 7-Eleven, but his name was Elvin. Nova Scotia. I've been fishing near Nova Scotia. Virtual Asylum. Lori M. Well, then stopped with the trolling comments. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Lori. Are you speaking to somebody? Is somebody bothering you? If so, I will look at the super chat later on. If someone's bothering you, let me know, and I'll deal with it later on. I can't do anything about it right now. I could if I was at my desktop, but not. I don't know how to do it from my computer because they move everything around on these stupid tablets and laptops. Yes, Robert Fisher's case, very interesting. It happened a block away from my house. Ooh, Crystal. Jeez. Oh yeah, they wouldn't. Marion H. The FBI would. They've looked at the video and they didn't look at it just once and then say, "Well, okay," and then they walked away from it and never, did anything else with it. They looked at it quite a bit, and they had their forensic examiner take a look at the entire video. It took me all of not even a minute to notice that there was something odd about the video, and then we put it up. I took it to a studio where they actually make commercials for television and radio, and we put it up on a 4K Ultra TV, and it was apparent within like the first, I would say 40, 45 seconds that there was something wrong with the video, and that when we started to look at it, we blew it up on the 4K video, and you could tell that it was altered. Okay. Sorry. Questions went by there. It stopped and then went by, all of them flew by. That Christopher Watts is not anywhere in North Carolina. I know he's in Wisconsin. I know what he got on his first commissary. I do. I have his record. In actual, well, it's a photograph of the actual commissary sheet, but I know exactly what he purchased on his first commissary order. Alan Johns, no, Super Chat is not a whole different room. It right down where you wrote your comment, you'll see a smiley face for emojis and a dollar sign. You click on the dollar sign and you can make a donation and ask a question, and it gets highlighted, and that's what you see over here in the actual comment section. Zelda 60 is the new 40. Getting up there myself. They're not. Michael Jones, they're never going to place him in general population. He will, and he already has. He's on less restrictive time in his cell now, but he will never be released in the general population. He will spend the eternity of his life in a closed housing unit with supervised. The lowest level that he will move to is a supervised housing unit where they have more availability to move freely within the prison, out on the yard, and he'll have more time out of his cell. But he will never actually get to the point where he can go to the other side of the prison or have a job that it will allow him to do certain things. He's always going to be somewhat high risk. I'm sorry, I missed it again. I was reading that. Oh, back up. Amanda Marshall, do I think there'll be a way to identify potential murderers like Watts or Susan Smith? Or do you think that we are, as a society, will just accept it and it happens? Well, I can tell you this much. I've tried to myself to educate the general population out there on the issues that are in the background of Christopher Watts. That if you take the totality of his background, you can actually see certain things in his life where there were trigger points where he exploded. He bottled everything up and then exploded. Bottled everything up, exploded in his life. I tried to do a video about that, but nobody wanted to hear it. Will society eventually learn? I hope. I have hope for society. I'm not giving up on it. Will we ever have the technology to be able to say, look, this person is going to do something? Even if we did, we still have the Constitution where we cannot hold someone or do anything to them until they've actually committed a crime. Your friend's daughter is a nurse at Waupun prison. Mm, tough place to be a nurse. Uh, no, Veronica, you see, he is not allowed to have a smartphone or a tablet or anything like that. Eventually, if he plays his cards right and he doesn't get into trouble or get what they call demerits against him, he will eventually be able to use the computer in the library, and he is only allowed to send email and read the news. He is not allowed to do certain things because these websites are blocked. He is able to do basically that. He'll never have a tablet, and cell phones and phones are like that, or they're smuggled in some places, but well, Bob Dylan, aren't you such a lovely individual? Thank you, Critter. P. May, cite my source for open casket. I'm going to respectfully decline. I don't give away my sources at all. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take my word for anything that I say. You have the same ability as I do. You have fingers. You have the ability to use the internet, research it yourself. And I'm not trying to be insert your own word here, but I don't give up my sources. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Thought crimes. And it's a scary, scary world if we ever get to that point. Heather Thompson, will he move? He could. He could move from Dodge Correction Center to someplace else. It would it be upon his request? Most likely, not. It would be for security reasons that they ever did move him. But for where it is now, he's going to stay right there. Sweet Dixie, I did see your question in the community forum. Yes, sweetheart, they were cleaned up before the funeral. Carol, welcome. Glad you can make it today, sweetheart. Um, Michael Jones. So they allowed Shanahan's father and brother and to come in and remove personal items from the home that meant something to Shanahan and to the little girls. They removed personal belongings. They removed the bedroom set, and they removed personal items from the home. And then after they were done, that was it. And they then decided that between Chris's father and Frank Reschek, they decided to have a company liquidate everything else within the home, donate it, do whatever they wanted with it. I don't know whatever happened with it at that point. I don't know if anything was still in the home. I know they staged the home to try to put it on the market for realtors, and some items look like items that may have been in the house before, but the other ones weren't. What did you miss? Lori M, thank you. One of these days, I'll actually get into why I do so much for certain charities. I'm sorry, Crystal, but I know he's there. They probably don't have him listed because, one reason or another, security or something. I don't know why they wouldn't have him listed, but he's definitely there. Jan from South Africa, welcome. Elisa, welcome. C Noble, yeah, they can do wonders if you get a mortician who actually knows what they're doing. They can do a very good job. I know a guy who actually was in medical school, and he eventually couldn't hack it because of the stress and the workload to get his degree to become a medical doctor. And now he owns a large chain of mortuaries. American military equals freedom. Hmm. Robert Jump. Is there a civil case against the Watts family? Not against the Watts family, but there's a civil case against Christopher Watts for the loss of income and for basically what's it? How they word that in Colorado? It's worded differently in different states. Um, Loss of potential income and future earnings, along with wrongful death. Basically, I guess it would be the nicest way to put it. But they do. Frank Senior, is suing him for $100,000. Yeah, he could sue him for more, but he'd never get it. Yes, Lori. Again, thank you. I do an awful lot for the Cancer Society. I do the every year. I do the Relay for Life. Yeah, and somewhere around here I have my sash. Every year I go, I get another button, raise more money for them. Walking around the clock means a lot to me. Local undertaker, yeah, but yeah, he makes good money though. He's one of the few people I know that's in the mortuary business that is not necessarily out there to get every single possible penny out of a family. And in a lot of cases, that's exactly what they're doing. Patricia Kay, yeah. I know this past year, I buried my sister, and it was hard enough for me to be there, and knowing that I was never going to see her, hug her, hear her voice again. If we would have had to have done an open casket, and she didn't die of anything tragic, she died of peacefully in her sleep. I couldn't have handled it. I can barely handle just talking about it now. Excuse me. Amanda Marshall, thank you for the super chat. Well, it's okay, sweetheart. What is your first language? If you don't mind if I ask. Thank you, Med Gas Guy. Is that your? I'm sorry. I should have asked that before. Is that your name? Is that just your screen name? Lisa. Thank you, Lisa Tatseeker. Thank you. I didn't lose. I'm sorry that you lost your sister to cancer, Dorian. I didn't lose my sister to cancer. I lost my sister. She was a lifelong epileptic, and she had a very serious epileptic seizure in her sleep, and she went peacefully. At least we hope she did. Amanda, okay. Pewdie is a YouTuber. Okay. Everybody knows who he is, don't they? Yeah. Someday I'll do a video about why I am so connected to the the Cancer Society. But Patricia K got small cell lung cancer, non-smoker too. Sorry. Virtual asylum? No, it's not my kind of a cup of tea either. Lori M, yeah, it is rude, but I get it all the time. I used to get a lot more. Your brother is just classified as missing. Are you talking about my brother Jill? My brother's missing, and we don't know where he went. We don't know what happened. He just his social security number, everything just stopped one day. We were able to track him down to a certain point, and then that's it. We combed probably 8,000 missing persons, and records and records of people who turned up in mortuaries labeled as John Does. Nothing. DH Fremont, this is an open question and answer. If you have questions about anything, any video or anything that's been on this channel, go right ahead and ask it. If there is no actual discussion, like topic. Heather Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Joe Tacoma, thank you, sir. Sweet Dixie, congratulations. I'm human, Jill. I'm human. In this life that we all live, none of us have a guaranteed amount of time, and we might as well make the best of what we have. And that's why I'm not a negative person, and I'm not an overly happy person. I exist. Yeah, I could be happier. Of course, I could be sadder too. But I get through this life. I have the same ups and downs as everyone else. Zelda. These type of cancer are from increase are from HPV virus. Thanks for the super chat, Veronica. Sue Reeves, he can't profit from a book deal, anyways. But you are right. I mean, they could sue him for $1 million. Never going to get it. I mean, it at the Dodge Correction Center, if he got the highest job, which would be the secretary for the warden there in the penitentiary, he'd make $7 a day. A day, not an hour. $7 a day. That would be the highest paid job in that penitentiary. Sweet Dixie, cancer is the devil himself. Cancer, unless you've been directly affected by cancer, and I'm not saying that you, Sweet Dixie, obviously have, But until you've actually stared down cancer and gone through with someone who, either yourself or with someone who has cancer, it'll knock you on your knees. If you're not religious, you'll get religious really damn quick. Thank you for the super chat, Carol. I really am glad you can make it today. Judy Stanko, do you have any ideas how much money Christopher Watts gets from admirers? Not after the last one. He did get a bunch of money from his last round of love letters. In case you're interested in writing Christopher Watts, I'll give you guys the information. You can go to www.writeaprisoner.com. His prison inmate number is 182906. So if you can't find him online, try his inmate number. I just told it to you. I know nobody really wants to write him, but you might maybe you want to send him a postcard. Patricia K. Big Farm. They're threshing in. There's no money in a cure for cancer. There isn't, but there is a hell of a lot of money in trying to get rid of, treat the cancer. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate it. DH Fremont, they sued him for everything except for his trophies, his memorabilia, and his NFL pension, along with his endorsement contracts that hadn't been paid up in full to that point. And that was one of the sneaky things that the Kardashians' father was able to sneak around. He was able to get the endorsement contracts that he had currently at that point. He went to him not on an official basis, but as an unofficial agent of O.J. Simpson. And he told him, "Don't pay him. Don't write the check that you normally would write and send in December for your endorsement contract. Hold off." They weren't able to take the money until if it came after the actual thing. But sneaky. That's where the Kardashians, got their start at fame. I'm sorry, Deb. Breast cancer starts with a B, ends with an H. I know somebody who had metaplastic carcinoma of the breast, and then it went through her lymph nodes. And before they were able to catch it, it ended up in darn near 80% of her entire body. Jan, we actually did a video about the information about my missing brother. Now, I can't. I'm brain, just like throwing a number out here, but I think it was 2000 and I want to say 5, 4, somewhere there. We had it up on a website. We had a website and everything for this case for the longest time, where people could leave tips. But we took it down because we attracted a heck of a lot of wackos, and a lot of people who said that they could see into the future, and that they could just touch something of his, they could tell us exactly where he was. And by the way, if we could just maybe make a donation to their enlightenment fund or something like that. Amanda Marshall, would I rather have him put to death or his life in jail? I'm not going to answer that, but anybody else that wants to, they can. Sorry, Venus Joe. Yeah, being a nurse is not. It's not all the fun and games that everybody made it out to, but be before you started, was it? 5% survival rate, Zelda. I'm sorry. What was the movie with Michael Keaton, where he was dying of cancer, and he went through all those crazy things, to try to, only after he finally, was to the end of his life, and he tried to do everything. Anybody remember the name of that movie? My Life? Was that what it was, Lisa? Yeah. When people get to that point where they're backed up against the wall, and they realize that what the inevitability is, they'll do anything to try to get one more day. Hope is a powerful thing. As long as you have hope in this world, you have something. What? Sue Reeves, was there a camera as Shannon entered the house inside at it all over Facebook? I don't understand. There was no surveillance inside the home at all. There was surveillance on the door, but that one only worked when they remembered to put their stupid batteries in it. Sorry, Venus. Brain cancer. Hmm. Andrea, 411, stop bashing Cindy Watts. It's wrong. Me? Sweet Dixie, faith and hope. Hmm. Well, Facebook says the camera was entered into the house. Attack on Shannon was on it. I'm not aware of that, Sue. I know they had security. They had one of those doorbell video cameras on the front door at one point. I don't know if it was there in the end. I don't know. And now, if my memory serves me correctly, I don't remember seeing it on the door when the officer in that video came up and he looked through the side little glass windows. I don't remember seeing the ring by whatever it is doorbell thing, but maybe it was there and I just didn't see it, pay attention to it. But I didn't recall that they had any video surveillance inside the home. Did it, Deb? I would not want to watch that video. Why isn't it on YouTube anywhere? If it was on Facebook, somebody copied it and it would be on YouTube. Has anybody seen it on YouTube? The video of the left side of the truck that they showed to Frank Sr. Oh, Zelda. I've been there with you through something very similar to that. I'm not going to get into it, but I have been through something very, very similar to that. Yeah. Okay, we're at an hour and 22 minutes. We got about well 7 minutes left, and then we need to end this. I would love to see it. I've never seen it on YouTube, but if you say it's out there, obviously it's not monetized. But darn it, that went by so fast. Oh, say this much: propofol damn near killed me. Found out that I'm allergic to it. One of the few things in this world that I'm actually allergic to. I'm allergic to propofol. They gave it to me. I had my gallbladder removed, and they gave it to me in the hospital. Oh, bad idea. But nobody knew until they actually gave it to me. I got to be my own guinea pig. What happened when they administered it to me? I had the most. Well, first they had to put me in a drug-induced like semi-state coma, just and waited for the propofol to work out of my system, and then put off the surgery until then. But in the meantime, I had some of the most livid freaking dreams. It was like being alive and being there, and not being in a dream state. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like I was just laying on a bed and watching everything take place around me. Um, the lead singer of the musical group, the Sex Pistols, um, yeah, Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious brought me a comb. I had a dream that was so live, livid, and it was so real that I really thought Sid Vicious, who obviously has been long dead, came to my room and brought me a comb. Didn't need a comb for some reason, but he brought me a comb. And then he just kind of stood there and stared at me for a while and then left. Yeah. I should do a whole series on the damn dreams that I had. Some of them were so real. I swear that there's got to be an actual place where these actual dreams, that I was having. President did that to you, Jill? Yeah, I've had quite a few friends of mine who were subscribers to the channel who would love to actually see me either put it into a book or do a video on, because there's not just one dream. There is a total of 6 dreams that I had while I was on this stuff. And they had to knock me out until the propofol was out of my system. And first, it sent me into like a series of non-convulsive like seizures, and then after the seizures stopped, they could not get me to basically wake up completely. It put me into such a deep sleep that they had to wait for it to all remove from my body. And but I was awake. My entire body was paralyzed because I was in that sleep state where your body's paralyzed. But I could see and I could hear and understand everything around me, but nobody would respond to me. Scary as hell. But then people who were dead kept on coming to see me over and over again. And then I was there in the hospital, and then I was gone, and I was off in another place. Really messed me up. But they finally got my gallbladder out, which is good. I'm glad they did before it actually erupted. Yeah, Violent Gray. I've read some stories about people who um, were given low doses of codeine, and wow, you just never know how the body is going to react to some things. Helen Johns, thank you for coming today, stopping by today. I'm allergic to morphine, and I see UFOs and dead people. Was screaming in the ER when was given the IV of morphine. Zelda. When they first gave me the medication, I was in the ER, and because I went in, I thought I was having a heart attack, but it was my gallbladder, and if anybody's ever had an issue with their gallbladder before they had it removed, you know just how freaking painful that is. So I was there in the ER, and they gave me the propofol then, and I thought the very first thing that came to my mind is I need to get the hell out of here, because I saw a bunch of Washington State, where the state where I live in, but they were in green jumpsuits, and they were state patrol officers. I didn't know it was raining up, and that's why they were wearing them. I thought that they were going to deport me to Mexico. That was the very first sign that everybody should have known that I was not well. But they kept on giving it to me. They gave me another dose before they were going to take me up to the surgery floor. I'm an American. I thought I was being deported to Mexico, and all I wanted to do was get the hell out of there. I tried. I tried to remove the IVs and the catheter, everything. I tried to get the hell out of there because they had prepped me to go to surgery after giving it to me. And next thing they know, I'm bolting, trying to bolt out of the bed and running down, trying to get down the hallway, but I couldn't walk. I was falling. But I had taken everything off of me that I could, to try to get out of there because I thought they were going to deport me to Mexico. Well, we're at an hour and 30 minutes. So this is the end of the live stream. I do thank everyone for stopping by today, and especially for listening to me ramble on about my stupid medical stories. But again, thank you for everyone for stopping in. I really appreciate each and every one of you for the questions and the support. Tell you, last week we total between the 2 different streams that we did raise $160 that was donated to the Head Trauma Support Alliance, and who is doing research in head trauma. So $160 was raised in support of them, and I have sent off the actual money order. I didn't write a check; I got an actual money order to send to them. because I didn't want to do it online. So thank you everyone again for helping me, support that. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Stay real. Angela Critter, you want to get deported to Alaska? You just want to go there. Don't fool us. All right, everybody. Thank you again. You stay safe out there. If I can remember how to close this, let's try.